And welcome back. You're on to the final segment of Global Sports Reports here on the Rise News. Now, the next African Cup of Nations will be played in Morocco from December 21, 2025 to January 2026. For that, Confederation of African Football Presidents said this yesterday. Now, CAF held a virtual executive committee meeting at their headquarters in Cairo in the evening after Mosepe made the announcement. Well, originally scheduled for June and July 2025, the AFCON was moved to avoid a clash with the inaugural Club World Cup in the United States from June 15 to July 13 next year. An added challenge for CAF officials was a desire to avoid a clash of dates with the UEFA Champions League in Europe. Now, match 6 of the Elite European Cup competition ends on December 11, 2025, and match 7 begins on January 21, 2026. The 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations was also postponed and will now be played in Morocco from July 5 to 26 next year. Well, now, Nigeria twice struck gold on the one of the ongoing African Senior Athletics Championship in Douala, Cameroon, through Chukwuebuka Enokechi and Chioma Onyekwere in the men's shot put and women's discus. Now, Enokechi began what looks like a gold rush for the country by pounding out a championship record of 21.20 meters to win, completing a hat-trick of African Championship titles, having won in Asaba and Mauritius, and is now tied for the most gold medals by a male shot putter in the history of the championships. While two-time African champion and one-time national champion Chioma Onyekwere added another one to her titles with a throw of 59.43 meters. It was her 6th best mark this season, and it was enough for her to win the title. And now, as the curtains draw on the 2023-24 NPFL season, and league champions Enugu Rangers are set to face Gombe United, who are at the bottom of the table in a match that carries different weights for both teams. For Enugu Rangers, it's a celebration of their triumph, while for Gombe United, they will aim to exit the top flight with dignity. It will be more ceremonial than competitive. The Enugu Rangers secured the title with a game to spare and will be crowned champions today in Jos. Well, all the matches will be played simultaneously at 4 p.m. on Sunday with Sporting Lagos, Aqua United and Bayelsa United, all hoping to escape relegation. There's a lot happening in the world of sports. I'm still joined by Tolu Oguntumeye and Uche Wodu to discuss these topics. Now, CAF has decided to move the AFCON to December. Well, I think that date has raised a lot of eyebrows, especially not just for fans. I know fans will be happy about it, knowing that the Christmas and New Year is fully packed for them, but especially for workers, for journalists, for players, and all that. CAF keeps moving dates, and we see different controversies from different clubs or European competitions every time. Now, what will it take for CAF to have a defined date? Because we know that the Euros, it's time for it. The World Cup, only a few times it has been changed. But for CAF, it's either in January or June or whenever.
Are you ready for power play? That's the first question. When you see CAF move dates, it's power play. Because I'm putting a date, they actually talked about June, July next year, and the next thing is FIFA says we're going to. So CAF is stringed by FIFA, like whatever FIFA wants, FIFA gets, and we have to move our dates. Now, for the Euros, this date was set 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So even if FIFA wants to get a Super League done, they will not be able to do it. If the Euros are, as in, you can't shift the date of the Euros but you know, in our own situation, it comes every 2 years. So in those 2 years, there's something in between. And for us to always want to please the power up there, we will have to go along with them. Now, for Patrice Motsepe, I like what he's doing sometimes. Like, he doesn't want to listen to FIFA sometimes. Okay, you want to take June, July, that's fine. But even in that July, I will still play WAFCON next year, whether you like it or not. Then I moved to December. Now, he's a businessman. He's not the former president of CAF. He's a businessman. He has seen that the AFCON they did brought a lot of money. Brought a lot of money. Viewing, and now the Moroccans are telling you it's going to be the best AFCON, putting everything in place. Now, what is he looking at? He's looking at more TV rights. The last one was about almost 20. Now he might be looking at 40. Big money. He's looking at a choice destination for everyone. That's where you have the big names that go, as in the towns the cities that are with big names, with Marrakesh and the rest of them. What he's targeting is tourism, what sold out tickets. And for what it is, Morocco has enough stadiums to be able to host any number, as in maybe a number of games you want them to host. So what he's looking at is the rights, the money involved. And at that point, it's not summer, it's not hot, it's cold. So by the time the players run 2 times, they are hot. So everyone is going to have fun. Even if you're a journalist, you're a tourist, you're a player, you will have fun. Now, this is where it gets dicey. The European clubs, some of them are not on break then. England
Premier League
will cry. England will cry. Spain will tell you, we can go on break. England, Bundesliga will say, we can go on break. But this is where the Premier League comes in, and they start clamoring. They start saying they don't want to release their players, blah, 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 blah. But what it is that it's not basically CAF's fault. CAF wants to make money, but they don't want to lose. They want to make money, but not at the expense of losing a lot when making it.
Because we know that for other countries, other continents that had the competition every 4 years, for CAF, they need it every 2 years because of the money. The AFCON is a huge contributor to revenues in CAF. But looking at these dates, Tolu, are you of the same opinion? Because yes, we know that it's a destination place. The weather is going to be good at that point, because I know the last AFCON wasn't just, the weather wasn't just so hot. Yes.
Yeah, I think this may be the right timing for CAF at the end of the day, because so many times we'll be trying to work with January. Most times we get complaints. In June, there's one championship or the other at Christmas. But I think December, January may be the appropriate time going forward. And I think the possibility of them sticking with this time may be the future of CAF African Cup of Nations. Because why do I say so? Most leagues in Europe tend to go on break during this period for like 2 weeks or so, except England. England is now also having a rotational system in England, but it happens to they always have it in January, where clubs go on 2 weeks break. Some will continue playing. By the time those ones are done, the other team will now resume. For instance, when Arsenal have gone on Dubai summer just to prepare they have the 2 weeks break. Now we need to now sit down with England, because we have some of the bulk of African players now also playing their training in England. How do we ensure that we push that 2 weeks break to the December, January period so it can fit in with everybody? Those are the modalities I'm working on. But I think this December, January period might be the right time for CAF going forward.
But so did you know, I think the problem here is that CAF, Africa has different regions.
Yeah.
There are different tropics and all of that.
Yeah.
In Europe, if it's summer, it's summer.
Yeah.
If it's winter, it's winter.
Yeah.
But for this, in January, it rains. It doesn't rain so much.
Yeah.
In some, like
that's why CAF has always been kicking against June, July tournament, because it's always rainy during that period. So it's not workable. But
it doesn't rain in North Africa in June.
In June. But December, January, North Africans is a little bit. It's cold. A little bit cold.
It's the snow.
Yeah, a little bit cold. Not in all places you have heavy snow.
Yeah.
So popular places you have, but it's a little bit cold. January, I think it's gonna still be able to work, but June, July, we can't work for Africa.
No, but that's the reason why when I saw it yesterday, I was particularly happy, because I just turned, I looked at the couch and I said, I'm going on holiday. No, Ebi, it's true.
It's supposed to be fun.
The last time I went to Morocco, it was hot. It was very hot. And you now find out that by the time you're done with the game, you're exhausted. You can't even before you finish the post-match, you're already exhausted. So right now, if we can actually all pack our bags, including Tolu, and we head to Morocco next year, it's going to be fun. At least Nigeria will not have a Harmattan.
So maybe start preparing your bikini for the December period.
You know.
We'll see about that. But if you look at Nigeria still, we know the Olympics starts very soon. That's come July 26th. Hopefully all Nigerian athletes, barring any monetary, financial, welfare problems,
it will come up, but let's move.
will be in Paris come July 2026. Now there is the Senior African Championship ongoing in Cameroon, and it seems Nigeria is flying. They have been flying in recent years. But there's something I always want to look at, Tolu. When you look at the records they make or the timing they use in winning, you see, for instance, 21.1 meter is good in Africa, but globally, it's not good enough to Uche.
Yeah.
Now, how should Nigeria, except like some, I think Nigeria has a few medal prospects that you're sure of. Oboro Dudu, there is Toby Amuso, there is Ese Brume.
Maybe Adekoroye.
Maybe Adekoroye. But for the rest who are competing in Africa, they run, for the women, you run 11.41. And you know that there's a Shelly Ann, there's a Shakari who runs 10.64. Tolu.
It's going to be very difficult right there unless we know we believe in miracles. And at times we just keep praying and say, okay, let something just come up. Like what happened in 1996 when Choma Joma came from nowhere. And one goal for us in long job. We never saw it coming. And also galvanized the team at that point in time. We see the likes of Mary and Yali, Farida Togokoya, pushing themselves to win medals at the Olympics. Now our major medal prospect is Oluwatobiloba Bonson. Bearing any itches, we hope that she can be able to, she won't have any injury and everything, probably get to the finals, and from there, anything can happen. But besides that, Enekwechi, wonderful on Africans, just like you said, but we can't cut it in Europe. When we can't compete at global level, because there are so many other athletes doing wonderful time right there. And you can't perform magic, because it's not like athletics that you may just wake up on the right side of the bed and things just go well. For short putter, you need to have been consistent over the time for you to be able to. So there's no miracle coming from that side. We just have to focus on other areas, open, probably wrestling, and maybe one of our athletes can sprinkle something in weightlifting. But looking at good.
One of the reasons that these things happen is that people are not competing enough with the people they're supposed to compete with. You compete in Africa. I'm sorry to use this, but you just say this is the local champions. You're competing at a local level. Now you see the likes of Toby Amuso, as he just mentioned. She goes to the Diamond Leagues. Yeah, she's always there competing with the best in the world. Now, how many of the short putter Enekwechi, how many times does he compete with the best in the world in different competitions? The same thing with the likes of wrestling. They are competing with the best in the world because Daniel Igali makes that. Yeah, possible. But what about the rest? The Ophilis of this world, how many times do they...
I said the university games.
Yeah, so how many times do they compete with the world, the people at the helm, as in the people that are up there? They don't. That's why when they see them, they are scared. Sometimes you see them when they take off, you see that the confidence is not there. It's not because they cannot do it. It's because they are not used to the terrain. So until we start pushing our athletes to start competing in bigger competitions outside Africa to psych up their mindset, then you would know that it is big. You see an under 15, like a coach told us that under 15, saw white players, and they were looking at the white players and they had scored 3. They were still looking at them and saying, these people are white. So you need to start mixing them to the point that they have confidence. Yes, they are accustomed to it. Now you are now seeing the likes of Toby Amuso telling you that she can run past a Shelly and Bryce. If you bring her today, she will run. Why? Because she has been there before. She might not win her, but she has that confidence that I can do it. I can push myself. So is that the same thing with other athletes? The answer is no. Not taking it away from them. Nigerians are resilient. We hope that when they go to the Olympics, for all of them that have qualified, they will not just get one medal, scrape it out here and there. They might just be medal prospects, get medals for us. But the truth is this, it doesn't take 1 month to prepare for Olympics. And I hope that the people that keep saying we will surpass 1996, they know this.
We hope so. We hope Nigeria does that. But it's going to be a tall order. But we can't leave without talking about the NPFL, which ends tomorrow. It's been an interesting 37 games. Now, the 38 game will be run. We already know the winner. That's Rangers United. So we're taking on Gombe tomorrow. But overall, how would you view this season?
It has been an interesting season. The ups and downs, the way the league started, the way it pans out at the end of the day. At a point in time, it's been topsy-turvy at the top of the table. Right from the first stanza, where we are Remo Stars dominating, Lobe Stars. Even Sporting Lagos at one point in time were top of the table briefly before they went down. Then Rangers too. But along the line, some of the teams' performance dropped. We had the Rangers who dropped performance drop at the point in time, and we thought probably they are out of the scheme of things. Then the second stanza saw a total resurgence on the part of Rangers. They went like a 10 or 11 match unbeaten run, then that galvanized their season, and right there they were able to get the job done. Remo Stars were inconsistent, and they started very well. They are always there, but the level of consistency affected their chances of winning the league. There was one particular match I always see led to their failure to win the league. That was a match against Gombe, where everybody were going to Gombe to pick point, but Remo Stars failed to pick 3 maximum points there, and that affected them. Another match I thought they would have won was a match against Lobe Stars right here in Lafia, but they failed to do that too. So that also affected their chances of winning the league. But Rangers, you give it to them, they were consistent all throughout the second stanza. They gave a good account of themselves, and they turned it cathedral to a festival of salt. People, spectators turned out en masse. We saw the last match against Enyimba. We saw the way and manner, the interest among the people. And I'm so happy for Amobi Ezeaku. He was there when the Rangers won the league in 2016 as the team manager. Now he's the general manager and was able to galvanize the team to win the title. And a whole lot of innovations coming from him. That's what we're talking about. The Nigeria League could be a money spinning league if the right people happens to be at the helms of affair, not politicians who are just using as a political jobbers. People who comes with the right innovation that can really bring the attention. See the massive crowd you're having right there at Cathedral. Let's hope that can also be replicated in other venues. Why would they not make money? I'm happy with what the Sporting Lagos is doing, and I'm also happy with 2 private owning clubs are coming to the Premier League. If those one can come in, they bring the kind of things we are looking forward to, and it will really help the Nigerian Premier League.
Now, Uche, for you, before we have 60 seconds. Yeah, for you, Uche, we know he's talked about Amobi and what he did differently in Enugu Rangers. Hopefully we see the momentum continued and shown in the continent, because we know how it always is in the continent, Uche.
Well, they have already started, according to Amobi, they've already started planning how to go to the continent and how they're going to do well. I like the fact that the NPFL is what it is now. It's not the abridged version. It's not people pick away points, unlike before. Now you pick points away. Now they have played well. There was a time Rangers didn't win games, but when they started winning, they picked up and it was good for them. Now the same thing will happen with other, the second and the third and whoever wins from the President's Federation Cup, something like that. Now when they go there, are they ready? As Tolu said, put in the money, have the passion, get it sorted. The good thing about Rangers now is that Amobi has the support of the government. It's a government-owned club. The governor is willing to go all out, just in the days of Ojus Okalu and Enyimba. Yes. So, and Amobi is, well, he's a fortunate fellow. So he is going to take it to the continent. We're just going to hope that when they get to the continent, they are seeing a different side. Northern Africans, Eastern Africans, I hope that they get past it. But we wish them all the best at the end of the day. But the NPFL this season, top notch.
Well, thank you so much, Uche Wodu and Tolu Oguntumeyi, for your time on the show today. And that's it from us on Global Sports Reports here on Arise News. And from the entire Arise Sports team here in Nigeria, I'm Ebe Yoman saying goodbye. Thank you.